What's going on, guys? I hope you're amazing. Today I'm covering off an important fact that most businesses have no idea about. I spent the last decade doing graphic design as a side hustle until 2017 when I pulled the pin and wanted to go bigger. I've now built a six-figure business by sharing my story on social media. I've ditched my corporate job and now get to work with some of the most passionate humans to help them extend their reach. Follow along as I uncover how to ignite your socials and monetize your fire. When I went from working, both a full-time job and building up my business in the background, I had to go through this process where you're looking at your numbers, you're looking at your tax and everything else, and you're working out how much does it cost to acquire a customer. If this is something that you haven't considered, I now want to give you 3 things that you need to be looking at, that you really need to ask yourself in order to really understand where your business sits. So the first thing that I want to ask is, how much is your time worth? Last year, in 2018, I managed to create a 6-figure business utilizing organic strategies, which meant I was using my time to generate business. Since I left my full-time job and since I've started in the business and started to look at my time, the money that's coming in, and everything else that I'm doing, I'm moving away from supplementing my time to get results. So now I'm in a position where I can use financial resources, including Facebook ads and marketing budgets and things like that, to be able to build my business rather than supplementing my time. Now, when you're starting out in business, unfortunately, you won't necessarily have this luxury to work out what your time is worth. This sort of comes later on, after you've established yourself, after you've built a reputation, after you have a steady cash flow. Going for meetings and meeting up with people all the time and supplementing your time does not always mean you're getting paid. So what is that process? What does it look like? And what are the various steps in this process? Okay, which brings me to point number 2. What steps are involved in your pipeline for someone to go from cold customer to buying customer or client or whatever you call the person who you're doing business with? This is a really good question to ask, because you may want to know, when I'm doing my events and everything else, I talk about it takes 7 to 21 impressions before someone knows, likes and trusts you. So if you were to look at your business and look at, potential interactions, all the things, the bits and pieces that were involved during this process before they became a paying customer, what does that look like and how much effort and time did you use to get there? The next thing you want to do, especially if you're running Facebook ads, is work out what is the bottom line. Once I established myself and I had a better process pipeline, I was then able to generate income from the events that I'm doing and everything else that's in between. So when I run an event, it includes a videographer, hiring the venue, ticket sales, potential travel especially if going interstate or whatever the case is. And then most importantly, how much am I spending on Facebook ads to acquire that bottom line? So my last point is, what is the quality of the business? This is really important, because if you're spending more time, helping this particular customer and it's taking longer to do things, or the process is drawn out. So a lot of people don't consider this point, because sometimes a particular customer may require more attention, give you headaches, cost you more in time, and a number of other different factors. So whilst, you may find an avenue that where, you can establish what the bottom line is, you can establish what the cost per lead is, or how much it costs to acquire a customer for a particular event or whatever the case is. But if they're not a sort of quality client that you want, that's obviously a problem. So I trust these 4 questions have added value. Love to hear your feedback. Go get it. So that's the end of the video. What I'd love to know in the comments is, what's something that you're going to take action on? So what's one thing that you learned that you're going to either implement, take away, maybe change, whatever the case is? I'd love to know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. And last but not least, I've left a link to my 5-day challenge. So this is 5 invaluable trainings and 5 things that you can implement into your business to help you monetize your message and attract your ideal client. Hope you enjoy. Love you and leave you. Go get it.